Hello everyone and welcome to this first Reason to Fly video on my new channel. The main thing I want to do is kind of replicate real life flights, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. And we are in Copenhagen Kastrup Airport in Denmark, and this Norwegian flight Delta Yankee 941 is a real-life flight that takes place every day of the week as far as I know. And today, Saturday, February the 16th of 2019, this plane takes off at 3:30 in the afternoon. And we're gonna try and fly real time and see if everything works out. But so far, as you can see, catering is being loaded in, and the crew is gonna board the plane here in a second, and we're waiting for the passengers as well. You might see here, let me change to this view, that there is a jetway, but I've disconnected it because you don't really see the passengers boarding the plane, and I kind of like that, at least for now, showing you guys how that is gonna look. And you can see here the captain and the first officer are boarding the plane, and after that all the flight attendants will board the plane as well. So that's really cool. We are in P3DV4.4. And I'm running Ultimate Traffic Live. I have Active Sky, running the weather. I don't have any add-ons running. What can you call all the cloud textures and stuff like that? But I guess that's okay. Let me just first here load in my flight plan in Active Sky, so that's taken care of, because that's the main thing I forget all the time. But yeah, it should be taken care of here in a minute. Okie doke. Yeah, so you see the beautiful flight attendant here boarding the plane, getting ready for the passengers. I guess they're wearing generic GSX uniforms, and yeah, that it is what it is. I don't know why we pay so much money for something that is just generic, and yeah, it's not really cool to have people speaking with American accents in Europe, at least in the game. So that's a bit of a bummer, but I guess you're all aware of the funny little things about GSX V2. So they're asking me to close the doors for catering because they're done. So I'm gonna jump inside here and take care of that. So these doors are closing, and the catering can leave the gate here and make way for all the luggage to be loaded into the aircraft. It's a very nice day today in Copenhagen, as you can see. Not a cloud in the sky, and yeah, that's really good. The temperature so far as I can see, is like +7 degrees Celsius in February. That's unheard of. Yeah, we rarely get that here. I guess times are changing, and so is the weather. And you can see here, is that a big what is that, 777, or that Etihad over there? Yeah, I think it is 777 Etihad. Very nice. I can highly recommend you to get Ultimate Traffic Live if you're looking to fly, you know, offline and just by yourself, but you want some life in your simulator, and this definitely does the job well. It has scheduled flights running as AI traffic all over the world. I can't even begin to say how many it is, but it's a lot. You can do the research yourself. But Ultimate Traffic Live by Flight 1 software, as far as I'm concerned. I think that's the right company name, yeah. So we have the passengers boarding the aircraft right now, coming out of the bus. And this will take some time because they're loading in all the passengers, I guess 183 of them, or how many it is. We are at gate C29. It is not the gate that Norwegian operates on a regular basis, as far as I know. But I can bring in the map here so you can see how everything is populated. It's pretty interesting. You see here we have all the British Airways, Scandinavian, Egypt Air, and yeah, a lot of airplanes in this kind of small airport, but still it's all the international flights and so on that goes out of Denmark. And why do I choose Denmark? Well, I am from Denmark, not from Copenhagen, but about 4 hours away from Copenhagen. I've been to this airport many a times, plane spotting and as a passenger and so on. So I know this airport very well. So while the passengers are boarding, why don't we just jump inside and start setting things up here. Let me just check this out. Okay. So we are boarding the passengers, and as you can see, there's nothing on the displays right now. We are starting with the long state panel state turnaround, I guess it's called. But it's like it's powered on and everything, and now we need to align the RSs so we can start entering the route into the FMC and set the altimeter and so on. So I've already set ground power to the aircraft, so that's taken care of. And you just go up here and you turn these two to nav, and it'll take some time, a little bit of time before the IRSs are aligned. And you arm the emergency lights and seatbelt signs and so on. So I guess I should have done that before, so we are ready for boarding. And I'm gonna load in the fuel here. I haven't figured out a way to do it with the GSX that actually works. It might be me. I've seen a bunch of other people do it correctly, but I just haven't messed around with it ever. So let's check the load-in sheet here. It's a route that I made in SimBrief, which we're gonna take a look at here right now. Alright, so we are choosing the flight here. This real-life flight with Norwegian is called Delta Yankee 941, yes, from Kastrup, Copenhagen in Denmark to Gardermoen in Oslo, Norway. And this plane takes off at 3:30 on Saturdays, and I'm gonna try and replicate it for you guys, and I just think it's fun doing this real life flight. So I put this information into SimBrief and making the route, and you see the route down here, and it's 363 nautical miles, so about an hour or so flying time, I suppose. A little longer because we're landing at 19 right, which has a little longer approach. But yeah, you'll see when we get up there. So I just analyze the route and it's cleared. So I go here and save and generate the electronic flight back here. And that should be taken care of here in a minute. So this is how it looks. It tells us our block fuel. It has all the information in here. And down here is the flight map, so you can see the route up to Oslo. Well, it's close to Oslo, at least. Oslo is right here. And as you probably know, that's the capital of Norway. So let's bring that stuff into the flight simulator. I go up here and I save the route here. That's for my active sky and my little nav map, so I can follow everything. And for the 737 NGX, and save that. I've done this flight a million times before, so I just overwrite it just like that. So it has the current information. All right, back to the airplane. And as you can see, we are back in the airplane, and now we are going to load in the fuel. It gives us a block fuel of 13,441 pounds. That leaves us a little bit extra if we would have to divert to this alternative airport. But I can pretty much guarantee you that will not happen. So let's punch in here 13,441 and put that up here. So that's taken care of now. Okay. And then the FMC here asks us to enter the IRS position. So you go up here to FMC, pause in it, and type in the airport. I do that first. So Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, and we are at gate C29. We will be taking off from runway 22 right today, and let's get the GPS position pasted in here. Just go next page, select the left one. I don't know why it's the left one, but that's what I've been told. So. And then you paste it up here, and you can see this little thing dialed went around, and now you can see the displays even looks normal to us. So we can adjust the altimeter. I'm doing the lazy way, if you can call it that, by pressing the B key. So that is taken care of. I guess the elevation here at Kastrup, Copenhagen is like 13 feet or something. Yeah, and I'm using, what can you call it, the imperial temperature settings and measurements and all that, the American way, because that's how I was taught. So I'm gonna do that. All right. So we can go on with the route here, and I've made a company route, as you saw before, in SimBrief, and we're gonna import it here into the FMC. So Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, Echo November, whatever it is here, and execute. And we know the runway we're taking off from is 22 right. And we put that up here, and the flight number was Delta Yankee 941. So we put that up here. That's the real life flight number of this flight here. And I go to what can you call it, departure and arrivals, and we're gonna select the SID here, standard instrument departure, and we see that 2 to right is selected, and our SID is called Vita 1C. So we gonna next page here all the way till the end almost, and select that Vita 1C. Alright, and there is not any transitions connected to that. So press tab R again and go to arrival, and we will be landing at what is it, 19 right at Gardermoen. That's the winds at the moment. So let's choose this right here, and the star for that is gonna be called Looney 4M, which is this one right here, and no transition to that as well. So we press route, activate, and execute. So that's the main route that is in the FMC now, hence why you can see the magenta line here. Yep. So let's go to Perf Init, Performance Initialization page, and our zero fuel weight is 121.8, and put in 2 tons of reserve fuel. I always do that. I don't mess about with calculating what the correct amount is, because I've yet to divert to the alternative airport. I've never done that. So cost index, I don't know what Norwegian uses for cost index, but I know that the American company Southwest, they use 34. So let's just use that for today's flight. Our cruising altitude today will be flight level 360. So let's put that in right here and execute. And N1 limit, we're not going to be doing any derated takeoffs today, as I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to mess around with it. I don't know the functions of it and what it means and so on. My knowledge of this aircraft is, I guess, kind of basic, and yeah, so it's mostly for you beginners out there that wants to learn how to fly the aircraft from A to B. That's basically what you will see here today. Flap 5 for takeoff, and our center of gravity is 23.7%, which gives us this trim of 4.67. So let's put that in right now. And you can see, you can't see precisely the number for your trim. So I just go to as close to 5 as I possibly can. And we can get our V-speeds here, so we know what the plane is going to be taking off with. And that gives us a V2 speed of 144, and we're going to put that up here. Excuse me. 144. And we're going to put the cruising altitude, 36,000 feet. In here right now, because we are offline. We're not flying with any ATC or anything like that. And also put it up here, so the cabin is pressurized at the cruising altitude, so our dear passengers' faces won't explode. That's cool. Alright. Then the way I do it, I go here to index and approach. I already select the flap setting for our approach will be full flaps 40 degrees, and that gives us that speed of 137. I always write that down on a piece of paper here along with the ILS frequency, so I know that I've checked that, and so that is taken care of. And the ILS for runway 19 right at Gardermoen is 111.30 with a course of 1903 degrees. And I put that straight into the radios here right away, because again, we're not on any network or have any ATC, so we're free to do as we please. It's mostly also so I won't forget to do it. Okay, so now we're gonna connect the dots for the route, and you press the legs page here, and you go up to this this button here and turn it to plan mode, and we can start connecting the dots. It might already be connected all the way through, I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see. So let's step through the route here, and let's see if there's any discontinuities. So far, so good. Oh, see here. Yeah, so you just take this waypoint here, mark it, and paste it up here and execute. That way the star is connected to the main route, and you are good to go on your approach here. If you were on VATSIM or flying with the inbuilt ATC, you would have to wait until the ATC is assigning you the correct approach that they want you to do. But since we don't have that today, it doesn't matter. So everything is looking good here. Let's step through the rest of the route so we can see our approach. Looks brilliant, very good. And I set this FMC to the progress page and up here and back to map mode. Now we can turn on the TCAS, which will gives us a radar view of all the aircraft that is around us, and we will get any warnings if someone is getting too close.
TCAS test pass.
And we can press the TFC button here and get our range rings in. Excuse me. I'm not used to talking this much, so you'll have to bear with my voice. It's nice to have these range rings, so you can kind of measure the distance of other aircraft, but also like terrain and so on, weather, all different kinds of stuff. So right now we're actually ready to start the APU, so let's do that, and boarding is completed. So let's just start the APU here right away and PAX on. And let's close some doors. And the cargo doors as well. So we're actually ready to go now. Ground connections. We're gonna wait for the APU to be ready. It'll take a little bit of time, you can see here. But we can turn yaw damper on, and window heat and probe heat as well. And hydraulics, we can put that on as well, because we're almost ready to push back. Yeah. And the APU should be ready now. Yes, good. So we select that and switch this to APU generator. This means we can disconnect all the ground equipment, and so the plane is just running on the APU that's built into the plane. It's kind of an engine that is running on both electric and fuel, I guess. So let's deselect all these things here and set the parking brake again, and all that should be ready to go now. So I go and put the right FMC on the legs page so I can follow all the waypoints, you know, the speeds and the altitudes of where we're supposed to be at. Okay, I think that's it for now. This should get us ready to push back, so let's put the beacon on. And yeah, and we can put this on as well. So let's ask GSX to help us pushing back. Okay. So they're connecting here, and you will see this guy right here come in and let us know that he's ready.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Awesome, awesome. And he's locking the gear. So let's get the plane ready to start the engines right away.
Locking gear.
You should know all this stuff by now, so I'm not gonna sit here and repeat it. But yeah, all the fuel pumps on, and we should be ready in a second.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Roger that.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, starting number 2. Oh, oops. I need this display right here so we can follow the engine spooling up to 25.5 when we will let the fuel into the system. And we are there now. That's good. Let's take an outside view here. But yeah, it's a beautiful day in Copenhagen. A nice day for flying. Kind of spring-like, actually. So engine number 2 is almost done spooling up all the way. So we can start engine number 1. And let's monitor the engine spooling up to 25.5. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do that. That'll help me a great deal in moving forward, and that way you can also keep in touch with the new videos that is coming up here. I don't have a schedule per se, because right now I'm still doing it as, like, you know, when I please. Oh, we have a plane coming in here. Looks like an Airbus. Oh, is that a 747? Okay, so engine number 1 is kind of done and ready. Yeah, it was a 747, I guess, or an A3 something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get this stuff ready. APU bleed off, PEX on, recirc fans on, and switch to the engine generators and turn the APU off. Text lights on and logo light on here. Let's put this to the middle and set ignition switch to continuous. And we should be ready to taxi here any minute. And we're gonna put some flaps on. 3 notches of flaps gives flap 5.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And as I'm doing these real life flights, I will try in the future to get see if I can find the real life liveries as well. But I couldn't find this one for this particular aircraft that's flying the route in real life. But it's good enough. It's a Norwegian, so we're happy about that. Okay, so let's prepare the rest of the stuff up here. Set these two to VOR and VXR and data. That way we have both data and weather radar here. But as you can see, it's a nice day, so we probably won't get that. And also the same on the right side, but with terrain and data. Okay, we're actually ready to taxi now. So we have an Airbus. Is that an A320 or something that's taxiing there? He's a rebel. He's not using the taxi lights. Hey, what you doing? Oh no! We've been eaten by an Airbus. Okay, let's go. Let's taxi to runway 22 right. I'll see you there. Another thing here, also I just set the clock there. We are 3 minutes over time. I guess that's okay. I was a little bit slow and explaining everything, but that's okay. This truck is not gonna stop, and neither am I, so bite me. Doesn't matter. We don't have any crash settings on. Oh, that was the plane going around there. And we have the Ryanair 737 taxiing. Very nice. And we have an ATR coming in overhead right now. Coming in from Bornholm. In Denmark, there's a small island south of Sweden, I guess, but it's Danish. They speak kind of funny there, but it's a cool place to go on vacation. And it's an ATR something. Kind of looks like a Dash 8. So let's make our way to runway 22 right here so we can go to Oslo. have that 747 taxiing back here. Or is that an Airbus A3? What are the with the 4 engines? I can't remember. Oh, it's not an A380 or an A340 or whatever they're called. Looks like a Boeing. Maybe we can see when we turn here. Yeah. Yeah, that's... isn't that a 747? It's Scandinavian and they operate Airbus. Yeah, it's an Airbus A340 or 30, I don't know. So we're almost ready to rock and roll here. Let's turn on the landing lights. Runway turnoffs and the strobe lights, and we can start the clock as well. Let's just quickly check and see if there's any planes coming in, and there are, so let's stop here and we'll see a plane coming in here shortly. But yeah, it's nice to be back recording videos again. You will also be seeing me do recordings of some of my VA flights from Elite Premier Virtual. I'm back in the saddle, flying again for them, and I'm so happy about that. So you'll also be seeing how that stuff works. And if you are looking for a community to fly with, I can very much recommend you checking out ElitePremierVirtual.com. Link is in the description box, and go check it out for yourself and see what we can offer for you. It's a huge community. We have a TeamSpeak. Well, it's under construction at the moment. There's some different stuff going on. So for the moment, that address doesn't work, but should any of you be interested in joining or just wanting to check out the flight club that we have, feel free to write a comment down there, and I'll get you sorted out as quickly as I possibly can. And leave this video a like if you enjoyed the video. But we're ready to go to Oslo. So let's toga. $80 knots.
V1 rotate.
Rotato.
V2
potato. And gear up. Very nice. And we can engage the autopilot. Auto brake off and locking the gear. I know you're not supposed to do that until you have retracted your flaps, but I'm a rebel, I don't care. Let's retract a couple notches of flap here. Beautiful scenery by Flytamba, by the way, for Copenhagen. And I'm on a new PC, so I couldn't be happier. It's really good. Everything is running smoothly. I also have recently purchased Orbix Vector, which makes everything look a little bit more like the real thing. guess it's something to do with coastlines and stuff like that. That is mapped out like it is in the real world. Awesome, awesome. Better take a screenshot for the thumbnail here. There you go. And we are on our way to Oslo. And we have the city of Copenhagen over here. With the castle and the stadium and all of the different landmarks. I have set it to airliner mode so you won't see everything here. And you have the Øresundsbridge, which connects Denmark and Sweden. Well, I guess halfway, and then there's a tunnel that goes under the water over to Copenhagen. Pretty cool stuff. But a nice day for flying. And another thing, there is no snow in Denmark at all. So this is not doing it justice, I guess, but that's Orbex for you. Another generic thing. And also this sound bug from the engines every time you go back into the cockpit view. The engine sounds like you have just turned them on, and that's so stupid. I hate that. So I had to mute the sound and then put it back on. That's so stupid. But it is what it is. We have passed 10,000 feet, so landing lights are coming off and the beacon as well. But what a nice day. I really enjoy these flights, especially flying around in Europe. The whole city of Copenhagen is down below there. So you see there's not really that much distance up to Sweden, which is Skåne, the bottom half of the little island that is connected to Sweden. And we're making our turn north so we can go up to Oslo, Norway. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. I can put the map back in here so you can see. We're taking this route here all the way up to Gardermoen. It's a cool little tool that is absolutely free. You can go and get, I'm not sure of the link of it though. You'll have to go and Google it yourself. So we reached 17,000 feet, another 1,000 to go until we switch to standard pressure, and we can kind of lean back and watch the plane climb up to the cruising altitude, which we won't stay at for long, I guess. Since it's such a short flight. 18,000 feet, so let's put standard on, and we are ready. But yeah, you will see some different videos on my channel, mainly this real world flight series. If you have a cool name for the series, please write down in the comment section for me, and maybe your title suggestion will be chosen, so that would be cool. Let's go outside here and watch the plane. One thing I want to start doing also is live streaming on Twitch. It can also be some of my VA flights and so on, or viewer suggested flights, subscribers or follower flights, whatever we find out. And also different games also I will be live streaming, as Euro Truck, American Truck, Fishing Planet, and so on and so on. So yeah. And I will also start to upload some of my old videos that I have backed up before I was so stupid to delete my old channel. And those videos will be going up over time. So you can go back and watch some of them if you were familiar with me before and my old channel. I also have a Facebook page, which I will link to in the description as well, so you can follow day-to-day news, and I post a lot of screenshots there, or if I find a cool video and so on that I want to share with you guys, then I'll post that there as well. It's kind of the place to get in touch with me, I guess, on a day-to-day basis, if you so choose. But yeah, I'm on a new PC. Bought as one of my friends, Matt, calls it, the Bear. It's a Republic of Gamers PC, pre-built i7-8700K processor with a 1080 GTX GeForce, whatever it's called, RTX, or I don't know. The 1080 graphics card is in there, and I have 16 gigs of RAM in there. The graphics card has 8 gigs of RAM, I guess, of memory or whatever. I'm not that much too into it, hence why I chose to buy a pre-built one. Got a pretty good deal, but these computers in this class are very expensive. I won't name the price, but if you're into that, you already know how expensive it is. So, but I'm very happy to have this PC now. It's kind of a testament to the long journey I've taken with my mental health and all that stuff. I'm doing much better now. Everything is calmed down now, my situation in my private life, and I can start to look for the future now for the first time in 15 years or so. So I'm very happy about that and very grateful. So it can only go up from here, right? And if you're wondering, well, mental health issues, are you a nutcase or whatever? No, I'm not. I just suffer from this thing called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which I don't really think is an illness or a disorder. It's just the consequences of something that happened in my life at some point. But I've been dealing with that and the system in my country, trying to, what can you call it, recognize that it was a real thing. I've been through so many tests and all different kinds of stuff, and yeah, all that is sorted now, and I'm surrounded with a great family and a few good friends, and it's really good. I'm in a good place in life, and I couldn't be happier, actually. So that's also why you will see much more from me here now on the internet with videos and streams and so on. I might even start record my own music again, which I have plans for, definitely. So it's nice that the war is over, and heck yeah, I won it. But it was hard work to get to where I'm at right now. If any of you suffer from the same thing, or any depression or anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. So all that is gravy, all that is good. And right now we are approaching 34,000 feet, so not long to go until we're cruising for a little bit. And I don't know if this is gonna be a two-part video. Maybe it will. And when we reach the top of climb here, we will cut this part 1, and part 2 of this episode will be the descent and approach into Gardermoen in Oslo, Norway. I think that's the right way to go about it, so you won't have to sit here for an hour and a half and listen to me babble and so on. Because yeah, that is a long time. I know that. So I think that's gonna be the formula from here on out, and try and do as few edits as possible, and just trying to keep it stripped down and everything. So yeah, we're almost cruising. So thank you so much for watching here. I'll leave you with some cool shots here of this beautiful plane, and I will catch you in the next episode when we descend down towards Oslo, Gardermoen in Norway.